A cold hand gripped my ankle. I gasped, spinning around. No one was there. The whispers returned, louder this time. You shouldn't be here. My heart pounded. The door creaked open, and then I saw something that made my blood run cold. Life had been wonderful. My new relationship made me bloom and glow. I got back from the shop earlier than usual. The sight of Linda slumped at my doorstep sent my heart racing. Linda! I screamed, sprinting toward her. She stood, her frame lighter, her smile strained but genuine. We clung to each other, her familiar jasmine perfume mixing with the Lagos humidity. You look like a Nollywood star, she teased, poking my glowing cheeks. But as we settled over jollof rice, her laughter faltered. This cola, he's real? She asked, her voice low. No red flags? No. Secrets? I scoffed. God finally sent me an angel, Linda. No demons this time. Wow, Inkem. I am glad you are this excited about him. He must really be a great guy, I beg. Connect me to one of his friends now. If he is this nice, he must surely have awesome friends. We will find a way around that, Linda. Just trust me. So, are you spending the weekend at his place? Weekend? No, oh, I have never slept over at his place. We are being careful. We don't want to indulge in premarital sex. So, to avoid the temptation, our date is mostly outdoors. I just visit once in a while. Hmm. Nkem, you have started with this, your mumu ways again. Oh, spending one weekend with a guy you said is in love with. You won't make you fall into sin. You are both matured and won't do something you haven't decided to do. What if he brings other girls to his house during the weekend? What if you are not the only one he is seeing? Better be smart. Pay him surprise visits. Spend time with him. Madam Smart, leave me alone. Oh, she nodded, but her eyes lingered on Cola's Instagram, his posts with me, his polished life. Just stay sharp, okay? Angels sometimes work for heaven and hell. A chill prickled my neck, but I brushed it off. Linda's just paranoid, I told myself. Trauma from my last disaster. It was the 6th month into my relationship with Cola. He hasn't given me any reason to doubt him. We have little fights here and there and resolve issues amicably. His mom invited me over for a family dinner. I couldn't help but admire the serene environment and the pure love his family had for me. His mother told me tales of how she visited Anambra State because most of her friends were Igbo people. I could tell she liked me. Amidst the conversations, his mother, Mama Cola, hugged me like I'd always belonged. You're the daughter I prayed for, she said, pressing gold bangles into my hands. Wear these, they're blessed. Later, his sister Temi cornered me in the kitchen. Mama gave my brother's ex the same bangles, she whispered, her voice trembling. She vanished. Before I could react, Kola swept in, his laughter dissolving the tension. Temi's jealous, he joked, kissing my temple. She wants your glow. But that night, I dreamt of faceless women wearing gold, their voices echoing, Run! I woke up, my heart beating wildly, and while I was still thinking about my dream, I got a call from Susie. She was the international hair vendor Cola linked me to. She helped put me through exportation. She is my business mentor. She mentioned flying into the country, and we needed to have an urgent business meeting. I dressed up and met her at a hotel. We went over my accounts, made a few corrections, she gave me new tips, and we caught up on old tales. While at it, she told me she had a surprise for me, and if I trust her, we could go on. I said, okay, and quickly sent Cola a text in case something went wrong. She put a blindfold on my eyes and led the way. I didn't know what to imagine anyway, so I decided to enjoy the waka. She made me climb a staircase. I could perceive new leather. Was it a car she got me? She opened my eyes. I was in a plane or private jet. I couldn't tell, but it looked lovely. The cabin was lined with rich leather and custom wood veneer. The floors were lined with gold. Village girl like me, I could lay on that floor all day. Abby, won't you? Don't lie, oh. The stonework and furniture inside were so stylish. I walked round the bedroom. It was like a fairy tale bedroom with a walk in shower. I had never seen such luxury all my life. Come see this, she said. There was a private dining room and multimedia theater. While I stood akimbo staring at the big screen in awe, I turned to hug her and almost ran wild with excitement. Cola was kneeling behind me with a 59.60 carat pink diamond, the exact one I adored a few days ago when I was with him. Say yes, screamed Linda and my younger sister Uju. That cost $71 million. My people, I passed out. The surprise was overwhelming. My heart couldn't take it. I was woken by the smell of barbecue fish that filled the air. I stretched on the lovely bed and Cola smiled and said, I am still waiting for your response, my love. I screamed, yes, and he put the pink diamond on my finger. But as Cola slid the ring on my finger, I glimpsed a nameplate on the jet's door, property of Redwater Holdings, a company I'd never heard him mention. Whose jet is this? I asked, my voice light. Ours now, he said, kissing me. I leased it for you. For me. The words should have melted me. Instead, my skin prickled. It was all merriment. I felt like an actual queen. We flew to Paris, and I did some shopping then. Back to Lagos to plan my dream wedding. It was all like a dream. When I returned to Nigeria, my little apartment everywhere looked so small and like a child's play. But I will be here till I get married to Cola. In Paris, Cola spoiled me rotten. Designer gowns, picnics under the Eiffel Tower. But at a Michelin-starred restaurant, his phone buzzed. A text flashed. Redwater shipment delayed. Cleanup needed. Work trouble? I asked, sipping champagne. He stiffened. Just logistics, baby. Forget it. That night, I Googled Redwater Holdings Lagos. The screen flooded with headlines. Offshore shell company linked to disappearances. My finger hovered. Then I closed the tab. Not today, I thought. Today, I was Cinderella. Back in Lagos, Linda dove into wedding prep with militant zeal. We need a hashtag, Ankolankam forever, she declared, scribbling venues. But I caught her staring at Cola's jet photos, her brow furrowed. What's wrong? I asked. Nothing, she lied. Just be happy, okay? At midnight, I found her hunched over my laptop, a file open. Cola Adebayo, offshore accounts, property holdings, former fiancés. She slammed it shut. Nkam, I don't, I snapped, fear curdling my stomach. I don't want to know. It could be another cola, please. It was a quiet Friday evening. I had just seen Linda off at the park. Her father's health had taken a turn for the worse, and he had requested her presence. No one knew why. Before she left, I slipped some money into her hands. Take this for his treatment, I said. She hesitated before hugging me. Thank you, Nkem. God bless you. I'll call once I arrive. I sat with her until the bus filled up, waving as it pulled away. Back home, I had dinner and drifted into sleep. Then suddenly, I jolted awake, shivering. My body was drenched, water still pouring over me. It took me a second to realize what was happening. My roof was leaking badly. I grabbed a towel, dried myself as best as I could, and stepped into the living room only to find the floor submerged. Water pooled everywhere. I sighed, sitting on the driest part of my bed, waiting for the night to pass. By morning, I called the landlord. He was as helpful as expected. The carpenter won't be available until Monday, he said flatly. Great, just great. To make things worse, Linda had traveled with her spare key, and I had nowhere else to go. So I called Kola. He had traveled to Abuja the day before, but I figured he might have a solution. Sorry about the leakage, babe. His voice was calm. To avoid complications, you should wait for the landlord's carpenter. But since you have my key, you can stay at my place till it's fixed. That was all the convincing I needed. I packed a bag and left for his house. Near the estate gate, I spotted Toby. Hope all is well, Nkem. You've never come here this early. Yes, Ma, all is well. My boyfriend Kola lives here. I had a small issue at my apartment, so I'll be staying the weekend. Oh, Kola, the man with a large heart, a great guy. It's good to have you around, she beamed. And my order? You haven't forgotten, have you? I smiled. No, Ma, I'll bring it once I pick it up from the shop tomorrow. Then, out of nowhere, help me! Help me! A woman's wail cut through the air. We turned. Mama Ngozi, the roasted corn seller, was running towards us, tears streaming down her face. Toby, help me, she cried. Ngozi has been missing for 2 days. I stiffened. What do you mean? Toby asked. My daughter, my 9-year-old daughter. I went to her school. They said her father picked her up because she was sick. But when I called him, he swore he was still at the building site, carrying cement. My stomach twisted. A child missing. Something wasn't right. I placed a hand on her shoulder. Send me a picture of Ngozi. We'll spread the word online. Someone must have seen her. Toby grabbed Mama Ngozi's hand, leading her toward the police station. I watched them go, unease settling in my chest. Then I turned and stepped into Kola's house, completely unaware that the secret lurking behind those doors would change everything. If you are still here with me, please take a minute to like this video, share it with your friends, and please subscribe. Thank you. I went to the shop. I had a great time as customers came to check out my new arrival. I came back with Toby's new order. I went to her house and knocked, but no one seemed to be home. I called her phone severally, but she didn't answer. Several times, but she didn't answer. I finally went to the market to buy groceries and decided to prepare something nice for Kola as he was returning the next day. Shopping took a while because I was ready to make him the choicest meals. Kola needed to know he was getting married to an Igbo babe, so I was ready to make him Igbo dishes. I got azumangala, assorted meat, okporoko, and goat meat. I would make him ofe onugbu, ofe ora, okazi soup, and finally will learn to make ewedu. After shopping, I got home and began to prepare the different dishes. I wanted to stock up enough food in the freezer for Kola. I had made his favorite okazi soup, filled with smoked fish, stockfish lowland, lots of meat. I enjoyed the aroma of my cooking and danced to the music playing on TV. Suddenly the light went out. I called Jojo the gate man to put on the generator, and he pleaded that we were out on diesel. Before I could offer him money to buy some, he already hung up. I decided to chat up Linda while I waited for him. While I waited for the light, I began to hear a voice crying. It was strange because I was home alone. Was I dreaming? So I went outside to see what was going on. No one was outside. It's a big estate, and there was this drop-dead silence. I waved it off. It was probably my imagination. While chatting with Linda, I dozed off. I felt a cold tap on my leg. I opened my eyes and saw no one. As I wore my slippers to head over to the kitchen, I heard the cry again. This time it was disturbing. Mummy, mummy, help me. I put off the gas to confirm where the voice came from. It sounded like it came from within the house. After a few minutes, it stopped. I knew no one was in the house, so I ignored it again. But I remembered the cold tap on my legs while I dozed off. Cold shivers ran through my spine. Then came the voice again. I knew it was time to find out what was going on. I began to search the house frantically. I followed the voice and found a big black board. While I got closer to the board, the voice became louder. The area was dark. It was an entirely different segment of the house that looked detached. Behind it was a small door. I tried to open it, but it was locked. I put on the torch of my phone and tried to force it open, all to no avail. It was an iron door. I finally gave up and was heading back to the sitting room, but my peace eluded me. I couldn't stay knowing something was terribly wrong. Fortunately for me, I found a bunch of keys lying carelessly beside the waste bin. I tried 5 of them, but nothing worked. My heart beat wildly. I prayed that the sixth key would work. Finally, the sixth key opened the door. I opened the door slowly. I put on my torch and almost fainted at what I saw. I had to act quickly. 3 little girls laid on the bed in the room, within the age range of 4 years to 8 years. And on the center table was a tiny syringe and bottles of injection, then tons of magazines with disturbing images. Nude children. 2 were still asleep while the oldest of them all was drowsy, still saying, "Mummy, mummy." What have I gotten myself into? I had to get them out of the place. I carried the youngest one. When I put her on my shoulder, her pink dress was stained with blood. They had been there for a while and were exhausted. Has she been sexually abused? My heart beat wildly. My head was almost exploding. Oh my God, hope it's not what I am thinking. While I carried her to the balcony in front of the house, many thoughts crossed my mind. How could this be? What's going on? Have I been dating a pedophile? Anne! I thought he was my answered prayers. Oh, but then he isn't. I laid her in the front of the house, carried the second one, and kept her outside too. I went in for the last girl. The oldest girl, she was already partly awake. While I bent to carry her, I heard a female voice behind me. You weren't meant to see this. Then I felt a very sharp pain at the back of my head and collapsed. Apparently, Toby had called my phone and I wasn't answering. Unknown to me, Toby is a secret detective who has been investigating the case of missing children in the estate. Immediately, she came to Cola's house and saw the 2 girls lying outside. She sensed danger. She called for backup, got into the house, and arrested the lady. While they took her away, they met Kola at the estate gate. He sensed danger and took to his heels. Ayatobi's team didn't come to play. They gave him a hot chase, but missed him. Kola was too swift. I was taken to the hospital near the estate and regained my consciousness an hour later. I was down and shattered. I thought I had found the one. What should I do? He's so good to me. He will change. We can send him for counseling. How can I abandon my new life? Kim, will you rather have your children molested? Snap out of this, he needs to pay. Suddenly, I was struggling to raise my head. I felt a cold hand pull my hair and drag me down from the hospital bed. I reeled in pain. I was quickly losing my breath. He had pulled the bandages on my head. Blood dripped down my face. I kept shouting. Then suddenly I woke up and it was a dream. The doctors and nurses were having a ward round. I narrated my experience to the doctor and he said, "You had a head trauma in chem. The pan the lady hit you with is a heavy metal. There could be brain injury. You have been scheduled for a CT scan tomorrow morning." "Thank you, doctor," I said while I still held my head. "Hi, ma'am. You have a guest." I was delighted to see Toby with a female detective. "Hi, Nkem. I am Detective Maria. This is Bola, the lead detective of this case," Toby said. Bola was in her 50s. I could tell she was very experienced, though calm and not talking much. "I am glad you were early to rescue the girls," Toby continued. "They are currently being attended to by the pediatrician and have been united with their parents. I need your help to find the culprit. I mean Kola, your boyfriend. Where do you think he might be?" "Hasn't he been found? I thought you had him in your custody," I queried. "What about the lady? Did you catch her?" "That's the problem in Kem. We had the lady Sandra, but she was found dead in her cell 30 minutes ago." Cold shivers ran down my spine. "We need you to think of a possible place your boyfriend might have gone. Chances are Kola had Sandra killed. Can you help us? You may have to come with us." "Sorry, detective. Her condition is bad. She has been scheduled for a CT scan." The doctor gently interrupted. "It's okay, doctor. Can you give me something in Kem?" "Yes, he likes to hide out in his cave house off Mobolaji Street. It's an underground building. I don't know how you can get in, but you might find him there. Here is my card. Call me if you hear anything." the calm Bola said as she handed me her card. While I laid on the bed, I tossed endlessly. Something was not right about this whole thing. Why is Sandra dead? At least I would have looked her in the eye to know why they kept those girls there. I was deeply disturbed. I vowed to get to the root of the matter. It was already 12 a.m., same day. I sneaked out of my ward, found a ward coat in a room I passed, wore it, and began to walk as fast as my legs could carry me. I was already close to the exit when the nurse saw me. "Hello, doctor." Wait, she grabbed my arm. "Nkem? Ibe ka ina AJ, where are you going to?" It was the elderly matron on night duty. "Mama Biko let me go." She held me. Mama, she wouldn't let go. So I pushed her with all my strength, took to my heels, and ran out of the hospital. Looking around, no one was following me. I checked my phone and called a bolt rider. Surprisingly, I got one. The road was clear. 30 minutes later, I got to the cave. Everywhere looked empty and abandoned. Kola must have left town. I bent and began to move through the cave. Everywhere was dark. It was scary. I pressed an unknown button and I was swiftly moved to the second floor. Fear gripped me. While I scampered to regain my composure in the dark room, I heard a voice faintly. "Kola! It's Kola. No, I need explanations before these people catch him." I listened again. No, that's a feminine voice. I moved closer. "Put your hands behind your back. You are under arrest." "By 12 a.m.?" I heard the cuffs click. Ha 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 ha. Kola laughed scornfully. "It's such a shame you are the detective on my case." "Bolaji, how can you forget so soon all you did to me, Auntie Bola? You ruined my life, Bola. You got me here. You took away my innocence. You used me as your sexual toy from age 8. Bola." "You would tell Mom you wanted to take me for an ice cream. Meanwhile, you took me to your hotel room where you messed me up. While Mom thought you were her angelic baby sister, I was here suffering from a dysfunctional being like you. You will rot in hell for this. How many of us did you ruin? Did you expect me to turn out normal? Oh, you don't know the length I went to get rid of the dent you made in my soul. I started craving children. I even went to Orlu village in order to be cleansed of this dirty thirst for children after I confided in Chike, my best friend. I stayed in a shrine for 3 days, surrounded by python, just for this to go away. Bola, may you know no peace." "Is that all?" Bola said after a long silence. "I hate you, Auntie. Look what you put me through. The only reason I'm telling you this is because whether I live or die, you will always be burdened with the suffering you made me go through." At this point, tears rolled down my cheeks. Such an amazing man ruined by someone's sexual fantasy. Oh no. I sat down on the ground and began to cry. I could hear Kola's shaky voice. He was broken. "You made me prey on little girls by being so nice to their parents, paying their school fees, and giving their families financial help. I truly loved their families, but I couldn't help defiling those little ones. I am in pain, Auntie. I cursed the day I met you. Oh, I held my mouth. It all adds up. That was why he was so generous to the corn seller's family. I hope Nkem will understand this. How do I make this go?" My heart sank. I have never loved someone the way I love Kola. Bola became violent and beat him to stupor. "Shut the fuck up," she begged. "Your mother married my heartthrob. I needed to pay her back. Your ruin is her reward. You will rot in jail. Bola will see to that." "Yes, Sandra, the one that knew your little secret. Your sister is dead. I had her poisoned in her cell. I wouldn't let the little tramp ruin the world I have built for me. Look, Kola, no one will stand by you. Your name is all over the news. The world hates you." She tied his arms and legs and told him no one must hear a word of this. He screamed as 2 men appeared and dragged him on the floor out of the cave. The floor was made of very rough edges. He got bruised and smeared his blood everywhere. I dialed Ayatob's line, but it was switched off. I already had all Detective Bola said on record, so I sent it to Ayatobi. With my heart in my mouth, I prayed like never before. I was in the lion's den and could be caught. I prayed to God for Iyatobi to catch up with Bola. I couldn't find my way. I saw a staircase and followed it. I needed to know where she was taking Kola to. Two men dragged Kola out of the house. Iyatobi was taking too long. I dialed her number. A creature climbed my leg in the dark cave. I stamped my feet out of fear. They heard me! What's that noise? One murmured. I turned and began to run downstairs. I was too slow. My vision was getting blurry. The bandage on my head was drenched. Their footsteps got closer. They were catching up with me. I opened the exit door. Then he shot my leg. I fell. Iyatobi and her crew arrived. My heart leapt for joy. Iyatobi came through. On your knees, your hands on your head, she commanded. Bola went down. She was arrested and jailed. I hope she will remain there for life. I was glad to help Kola. He went to jail too, but this time with therapy. A therapist sees him every month. The three girls also underwent therapy and are still on it. I became a sexual abuse activist. I have seen the damage firsthand. My team and I go round giving sexual education in schools, churches, on television, teaching parents to be wary of exposing their children to the trauma of sexual abuse. Kola was a victim, but he couldn't wield his trauma. He traumatized more people out of pain. I am glad I saw through the mirage. I am glad I came across someone as amazing as Kola. He would be away for a very long time.